Καλησπέρα σας, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Good evening to you. I have to turn to English. My guest tonight is somebody who can speak better than me, the English anyway. But before I go further, I like to say a big thank you to our new sponsor, Mr. Tony, from the known restaurants, Tony's Pizza. Good evening, Mr. Tony. Thanks very much for your support. And I would like to welcome Mr. Andrew Shapland. Yes?
Yes.
Welcome to London, first of all, and welcome to our studio and to our program.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very happy that you managed to come from Oxford today to be with us.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here on HellenicTV.
Thank you very much. And because we're going to speak about a very special subject, and you're going to give us more information about the very interesting exhibition, which is already opened, and it's going to be for a couple of months, I think. We, give all the details in a minute. But before we go further, would you mind giving us a little bit of information about yourself? I mean, who you are, where you born, your studies, and just for our audience to know who you are.
Well, I was born in Bristol and I grew up there, and I was extremely fortunate at school to study ancient Greek and Latin, and that's what made me want to become an archaeologist. So when it was time to choose what to study at university, I decided to study archaeology at Cambridge. Mm-hmm. And there I started to do some options in Greek archaeology, particularly the archaeology of the Greek Bronze Age. And then I moved to London to do a PhD in that subject at UCL. So my PhD is about animal imagery in Bronze Age Crete. And from then I got a job at the British Museum looking after the Greek Bronze Age collection. And in 2018, I moved to Oxford to look after the Sir Arthur Evans collection there, as well as the classical collection.
Yeah. Why did you choose, Greek archaeology? It was something which made you interested about it, or somebody suggested to you, or?
Well, I think it was at school. I was lucky enough to read Homer in Greek, and with Homer, there are a lot of things that we don't know. There are a lot of questions about whether this is based on reality or whether it's just a myth. And I think that question really drove me to archaeology, to see if archaeology had any of the answers.
This is a big question. Is it myth or reality?
Yes.
So what did you find out?
Well, I mean, particularly with the exhibition, for instance, you have the subject of the labyrinth, and I think there's always a grain of truth in the myth. I think that the labyrinth, for instance, could well have been a complicated building at Knossos, or maybe it was a cave, but you always wonder if the myths are based on some maybe misremembered truths about some event or some building.
So actually there is a myth, but sometimes you realize that might be, is connected to some truth.
Yes.
Yes.
But then over time, I think myths are useful things, and so people do different things with them until maybe the truth becomes almost forgotten, and the myth is what matters.
The myth is still myth. Yes, that's all right. So. Have you been to Knossos yourself?
Yes, I've worked at Knossos for almost 20 years.
Did you?
As an archaeologist, yes.
Oh my God.
But only on a fieldwork project where we did a survey around the city of Knossos.
Yeah. So but you didn't manage to learn the Greek in Crete? I mean,
Ochi, as they say in Crete. I speak a little bit of Greek, and
they have an
learning.
Accent like Cypriots. I mean, I'm a Cypriot myself, and they have an accent.
Yes.
But okay. So now we have to, come to this, exhibition that which is opened the 10th of February. And actually, what is your responsibility as far as the museum is concerned? What do you do? What are your responsibilities?
Well, I'm the Sir Arthur Evans Curator of Bronze Age and Classical Greece at the Ashmolean, and that means that I have responsibility for studying and making available the very extensive Aegean collection that we have at the Ashmolean. It's actually the largest collection of Aegean Bronze Age artefacts outside of Greece. And one of the real pleasures of working there is also that I'm responsible for the Sir Arthur Evans Archive, which is the excavation archive of Knossos. So that's a unique treasure which we have at the Ashmolean.
Yeah, Ashmolean, museum is it in Oxford?
Yes.
It's Oxford. Yeah. So why you make this decision to have this exhibition? Is there any special reason or?
Well, what I really wanted to do was bring to England for the first time the artefacts that Sir Arthur Evans excavated at Knossos, which by law he was not allowed to remove from Crete when he did the excavation. So it's been a wonderful collaboration with Heraclean Archaeological Museum to bring those objects to Oxford. And the reason that I wanted to do that was to show them alongside the excavation archive for the first time in 120 years.
Yeah.
And so that's the most exciting thing for me about the exhibition, is to reunite some of these objects only temporarily before they go back to Crete.
Are there already some objects in the museum from Knossos?
There are. Arthur Evans, when he started excavating Knossos in 1900, and in 1903 a law was passed by Crete. Crete, as you know, was independent at that time until it joined with Greece, and the law enabled him to remove useless objects, as they were called, duplicates. And this is why we have a large collection of pottery and some seal stones and other objects from Knossos. But the unique objects remained in Crete.
They remain in Crete. But nobody complains and nobody asks for those objects to go back to Crete.
Well, there are lots of objects excavated which are in Heraclean Museum, and the best objects remained in Crete.
In Crete, yeah.
So what we have are the things which the Cretans at that time didn't mind losing.
Yeah.
And there was a process, there was a committee formed, and Arthur Evans was allowed to remove certain objects.
Because we're talking about this, it's a similar case with, British Museum, where there are some, Elgin's marbles there, and, it's been, quite a bit of years now, everybody's trying to, return those to Athens, but at the moment I don't know what the situation is. What do you think about it? I mean, you support the idea of returning those, marbles to Athens, or is it better to remain in here? What do you think?
Well, at the moment, I understand from the newspapers, I have nothing to do with this, that the Chair of Trustees at the British Museum, George Osborne, is talking to the Prime Minister Mitsotakis about this, and I really hope that an agreement can be found, and I think that they are trying to come up with an agreement to share the objects in some way, and I don't know how that would work, but perhaps the objects could travel temporarily, and maybe some treasures from Greece could be shown at the British Museum. So I really hope that an agreement can be found to solve this problem, because it really does prevent the British Museum from working with Greece, unfortunately, because at the Ashmolean we're very fortunate that we've been working very closely with both the Ministry of Culture and Heraclean Archaeological Museum, Heraclean Ephoria.
Yeah.
We also have a loan from the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. They lent us a Minotaur which has never left Athens, and so it's a really happy position for us to be in, that we can work with Greece, because we don't have this problem to deal with.
Yeah, I want to ask you another question as far as is concerned. The objects at the moment in your museum. Do they create interest of people, so they can travel to Knossos to see more about that? Do you think it's a good thing that they are there? What do you think?
Well, a large number of British people go to Crete every year. When I work at Knossos, I see them visiting the palace.
You send them there?
well, I hope that a few people will want to come to the exhibition on a very cold February morning in Oxford, and then they'll be inspired to go to Crete to see the palace of Knossos. Because in the exhibition we start to tell the story of how Sir Arthur Evans reconstructed the palace, and maybe once our visitors understand a little bit about the process behind the reconstructions, maybe they'll want to go to Crete, see the palace, and then they can go to the beach and have fun.
Definitely, and enjoy as well, yes. So how many objects you bring in from Knossos for this exhibition? You brought them already, I suppose.
Yes, they're already installed, so there are just over 100 loans from Greece, and many of those objects have never left Crete before, and we've brought them together with about 100 objects from our own collection. And most of the objects from our collection are the archive, the notebooks, the plans, the photographs, the drawings of objects, because this is really how we can reconstruct the excavations.
Yeah. So how long they're going to be in a museum for the exhibition?
Well, the exhibition lasts until the end of July, so there's plenty of time to see it, but then many of the objects will go straight back to Crete.
Yeah. Okay. Apart from that, you were telling me you're going to travel to Greece to do some lectures, and you're going to Thessaloniki as well as Athens?
Yes, that's right.
Tell us more about that. Give us more information.
Well, the British School at Athens, I work as an archaeologist in Greece, and the British School at Athens arranges for archaeologists to get permits to work in Greece. I also have an excavation in Crete at Peleikastro, and they invited me to give a lecture about the exhibition as part of their series of open lectures, so that they can explain in Greece what the British School at Athens is doing. And so every year they have an open lecture in Thessaloniki, in the university there, where they explain about some of the projects that they do, and then I'll talk about the exhibition, because the British School at Athens has also been involved in the exhibition. And then they do the same thing in Athens, so we'll move to Athens and I'll give a lecture about the exhibition at the Archaeological Society there. And I'm really looking forward to it, because it's an exciting collaboration that I want to talk about.
So you might create some kind of atmosphere and bring more people from Greece to see the exhibition here to in Ashmolean Museum. Yeah,
I hope so. We were very honoured this week to have the director of Heraklion Archaeological Museum, the director of Athens National Museum, and the Director General of Antiquities, Dr. Veleni, visiting the exhibition, and now they've come. I hope that many other Greek people will want to come and see the exhibition. They all really enjoyed the exhibition.
Yeah, is the exhibition open every day? From what time to till what time?
Well, the Ashmolean opens every day from 10 until 5, and people can buy a ticket for a particular slot between about 10 and 4, and any day.
What is the cost of the ticket to get in?
It's £15 for adults, but there are also concessions for school children and other groups. Do
they come, from schools and visit the, museum, organize trips to Oxford and, get in to see what's happening there, what is in store?
Well, that's what I'm really hoping. I've been talking to the Greek embassy in London, and
so they might be organised some trips. Yeah.
Yes, and we've prepared an educational pack. So if teachers want to visit the exhibition, we can give them some information about the exhibition. They can bring their students, and I hope it will be a chance for students based in the UK to learn about Greek culture and the excavations on Crete.
Yeah. Are there any catalogs available when they come there and they get information and choose where they want to and how much they want to see, or?
Yes, we also have a catalogue which is available in the shop. We have an audio guide as well, which people can get at the ticket desk, which has various people involved in the exhibition, both from the UK and from Greece, talking about some of the objects. Or people can just go around and look at the beautiful objects. It's up to them.
How can anyone, do some research before they decide to go there? To have a website? How can they get the information, where they can get it from?
Well, they can look on the Ashmolean website, where we have a bit of information about the exhibition and the objects, or they could order a catalogue and maybe read that before they go to the exhibition. The catalogue is available on the internet as well from various websites, as well as in the museum.
In Greece, except of Crete, are there any objects from Knossos anywhere, or is the only way to see the objects is in Crete, in Knossos? Are there any other places where they exhibit those similar objects?
There are a few objects from Crete in the National Museum in Athens, but apart from that, Crete is the main place to go. Yes.
You travel back to Crete very often?
Yes, I try to go every year to do fieldwork projects. We are going to do a trip with some of the friends of the Ashmolean to Crete in April, and I'm really looking forward to that, because unfortunately when I do fieldwork it's in July and August, so it's very hot, and I've never seen the spring flowers of Crete. So I'm hoping if I go in April I will see the spring flowers, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Is there anything else you want to add to this? I mean, special, give us more information about a special object that you exhibit there at the moment from Crete?
Well, we're excited to have some very important finds from Crete, and two of them have actually been excavated recently by Greek archaeologists. One of them is called the Poro sopha, and it's a jug in the famous marine style of Crete, which is decorated with octopuses, or a type of octopus called an argonaut, and relief shells. And it's a masterpiece. It's the finest marine style jug ever found, and it was found in the 1980s in Heraklion by Nota Dimopoulou, and so I'm absolutely delighted that we can show that alongside some of the objects that Sir Arthur Evans excavated, which also have octopuses on. So we have a stone weight with an octopus, and another ceramic jar with an octopus on, as well as other things from the sea. So we have this fantastic vessel made of marble carved in the shape of a triton shell. So that's another highlight. But then perhaps one of the most exciting exhibits we have was only excavated in the last 10 years at the village of Knossos, and that's a bronze dagger, and it's inlaid with gold and silver in a design which shows a griffin. And this is the first dagger of its kind ever found in Crete. There were other similar daggers found in the shaft groves at Mycenae, but this is a unique find from Crete, and we're very grateful to the excavator, Mrs. Athanasia Kantor, for allowing us to show it for the first time outside of Greece. Yeah,
you seem very, very excited about it.
I am, yes.
Happy, and that's a very good thing. And what plans do you have for the future as far as the Ashmolean Museum is concerned?
Well, after the exhibition, I really hope that we're able to lend some of the Evans archive to Heraklion, so that we can do a reciprocal exhibition, that some of our archive can be shown in Heraklion for the first time. But I also, at the moment, I'm involved in a digitisation project, because what I really believe is that the archive shouldn't only be accessible by coming to the Ashmolean, it should be available online. So we've recently taken photographs of all of Arthur Evans' excavation notebooks from Knossos, about 3,000 pages made between 1900 and about 1931. And we will have a new website in the summer, and at that time they will go online for free, and everyone can see these important documents. And that's what I want to carry on doing, to digitize our archive so that people in Greece and the UK and anywhere can see these unique excavation records.
Yeah, it's not the same, you know. I mean, you know, looking at the photos and all this kind of thing, but you know, it's better if you see, you know, see it in front of you, you know, and study it. You know what I mean? This is very important. What do you think?
Absolutely. In the exhibition, we're able to show the notebooks and some of the drawings, but they're light sensitive, so we can only show them for 6 months, and then they'll have to go back into storage.
Yeah.
So we can't show them on permanent display, and so the digital version becomes the substitute. So you're right that it's nice to see the original, and of course there are people all over the world who might not be able to travel to Oxford to see the archive, and again we're able to show them what we have on the internet.
Yeah. Do you have visitors from you know, other countries? Which countries are they're more interested to visit the museum?
Well, Oxford is a major tourist destination,
yes, exactly, yes.
Partly because of Harry Potter. Some of the Harry Potter films were filmed there. So we have visitors from all over the world, a lot of Chinese and Japanese visitors, for instance. And so I think that some of those visitors will come to the exhibition as well, and certainly they come to the Ashmolean.
Lovely. So would you mind telling us again, you know, where the exhibition is and the times that it's open, and until when it's going to be open?
Well, the exhibition till the 30th of July, and it's in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, and the Ashmolean Museum is in central Oxford, so you can get the train to Oxford, and then the Ashmolean is about a 15-minute walk from the train station. So it's very easy to find.
And the website, would you give us a website as well, so everybody can go in if they want to and find more information about it?
Yes, so we have a website of www.ashmolean.org, and we also have a Twitter account and an Instagram account, and there's lots of information about the exhibition on that.
Okay, it's been nice to have you here anyway, and I'm very happy that you traveled from Oxford, as I said at the beginning, to come to meet us, and thank you very much for being here, you know. And as I say earlier on, it's better that you are here instead of, you know, doing it through, you know, technology, you know, this kind of thing. And I wish you all the best for everything you do. I mean, you know, I mean, it's a very exciting job, I'm sure about that. And you have so many exciting projects, and you know, and I'm sure you're looking forward to all this. I mean, go to Greece, lectures, and then go back to Crete and back here, and you know. So what else can I say? I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Σας ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστώ. You see, yes, you speak a little bit of Greek, eh?
Προσπαθώ.
Προσπαθώ. Τα έμαθες, πού τα έμαθες?
Μαθαίνω με δάσκαλα στην Αθήνα.
Μέσω του ίντερνετ, through the internet.
Ναι, στο Zoom.
Zoom, yeah. Okay, I hope you learn more, and the next time when you are here, we speak in Greek.
Ελπίζω.
Ελπίζω, ευχαριστώ πολύ. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Να ευχαριστήσουμε και εσάς, τους τηλεθεατές μας, που μείνατε μαζί μας, και να ευχαριστήσουμε και τον χορηγό μας, τον Mr. Tony. Ευχαριστούμε, Mr. Tony, the owner of the Mr. Tony, the Pita Restaurants. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ, να είστε καλά, και θα τα πούμε και πάλι την ερχόμενη Κυριακή με ένα άλλο πρόσωπο ή πρόσωπα. Καλή νύχτα σας.